tonight's half between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Play action now. Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
On play action, Mills.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Off the play fake, Mills.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
From the 27,
Mills. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Play fake, Mills. He's got Jordan complete right side. Finding space at the 40.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A first down throw for Mills.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here's Mills. This ball caught by Mechie.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14.
To throw, Mills. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Going for it with Pierce.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Mills to throw for it on 4th.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he will reach the 5-yard line. Out of bounds.
First and goal, Houston.
Waste of time. Seriously? Not even a play?
10-0 the score after 1 on EA's. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Let's go.
They'll run here with Pierce. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans have cut it back within a score. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
First down, Mills. Caught left side by Mechie. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He still makes a catch, even though it was tapped by the linebacker.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball, just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case,
we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guys? They do any tip drills?
I think they work on it as well, oftentimes in the Hail Mary situations, because you're actually counting on a ball being tipped to give you an extra chance to catch it. They use that training well.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as he'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalposts, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Jackson and Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run the counter. Compton. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. Now Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they were stopped on 4th down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down, do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves, let's get back out there and move the ball again?
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner,
he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Throwing, Mills.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Sacked on the corner blitz by Marlon Humphrey.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will close the gap down to 14.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 2nd and 10, Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Real quick.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Compton, 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Edwards now on 1st and 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run it out of the gun with Hill. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Up the middle they go. Compton. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. Compton.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They run once more with Edwards. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Bobby Okereke making that tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
On second down now, Compton. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Compton. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down.
And his throw is incomplete.
Just what they need, electric from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Looking to throw is Mills. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Back now in Baltimore. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter.
Mills on 1st down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mills.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Mills throw taken in there by Cooks. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Hand off right side to Pierce.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Mills to throw it.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Marcus Williams getting the sack from the secondary.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lost one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
deep ball. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we...
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Cube-bone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the base. My 8-spoon going big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name.